Krishna says in Gita that as a boat is swept away by a strong wind in the ocean, in the same way, if we allow ourselves, in the same way, even one of the senses that is uncontrolled can sweep us away into Maya. Krishna says we must guard all the senses on all sides by the mind that is situated in intelligence. We find ourselves often saying things, doing things that causes us great regret. Sometimes things that we regret through our entire lives. And it is a learning experience, no doubt. The learning experience is you cannot undo anything you have ever done. Human life is meant for responsibility. Therefore, it is very, very important that we have proper association by which we are in an atmosphere, an environment where we will make the right decisions and we will not spoil our life. We will not have to suffer years and years of reaction for something foolish that was done without proper thinking. Because in the association of devotees, their intelligence becomes our intelligence. And that is why it is so important. If we are in an association of sinful people, worldly people who are too much addicted to materialistic activities, then by their influence, it becomes very easy for our mind and senses to be swayed by their influences. And then we perform activities that cannot be undone. Because social pressure is very powerful. What you associate with, you become like. But in the association of good devotees, it is very protective. Because there will always be that social pressure. There will always be the eye of others upon you, by which you have to not only question yourself, but you will know that others are questioning you as well. And that makes us much more cautious, much more contemplative of what is to be done and what is not to be done. It is very important. And even amongst the association of devotees, we must know the association of devotees who can help us. If we associate with the objects of the senses, it becomes very difficult to control our senses. Just as it is explained in the Shastra, Nan Magni Pramanannabagrita Kumbha Samapuman, that when a man spends too much time alone with a woman, then naturally, like butter and fire, there is a melting process. But if that man is in the association of other men, even if there is woman present, there is the social environment by which naturally you will behave very proper. And your mind and senses will very much consider what they are thinking, what should be done. So in this way, we can understand Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was very strict in this principle. Asat Sangha Tyaga Avaishnavachar. That one must associate with very, very sincere devotees. Otherwise, one will certainly become a victim to Maya. Because in Kali Yuga, our intelligence is very weak. In fact, Prabhupada used to call us cripple-minded. When you're crippled, you need a crutch. Sometimes materialistic people, they accuse us and they criticize that you are using your religion as a crutch. You have heard this? It is a crutch. Like there's something wrong with the crutch. But our reply to them is, you are crippled. Why not take the crutch? We need a crutch. It is a crutch. And unless we humble ourselves and admit that we are in a crippled state, we will not accept it. And the crutch is the association of devotees. It is very easy to rise early in the morning when everyone is rising early in the morning. It is very easy to chant the vow of japa that you make to your guru every day, 16 rounds, if everyone else around is chanting the 16 rounds. It is very easy to hear Bhagavatam every day as is required. All around, everyone is coming to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. And on our own we can do it for some time. But then it becomes very difficult because so many distractions, so many priorities, and our intelligence is taken away. And we start to think, perhaps it is not so important, or perhaps there is some other important responsibility I have. So therefore the association of devotees is very necessary. Srila Prabhupada very much was strong, and his Guru Maharaj Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati was very much strong, that solitary bhajan is for very, very advanced souls who have transcended the modes of material nature. Solitary bhajan is for those who have the blessings of their Guru and the blessings of the Vaishnavas. It is not for a neophyte devotee to try to pretend to be Paramhams. In fact, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati wrote a beautiful set of prayers to his mind. Do not try to imitate Haridas Thakur sitting in a solitary place for fame and distinction or out of laziness. Trinarapi suniche natarorapi seshnana. Our spiritual advancement is determined by our humility. And part of our humility is to admit that we are not very advanced and to accept the association that is required, to accept the crutch of Vaishnav Sangam when we are in a crippled state. And we are in a crippled state. Maya is powerful, all powerful. And this material world is like a battlefield. And in this battlefield, we have all been crippled. And we have wounds from millions of lives in the past. We're severely wounded by Maya. So we need that help. To help us to use our intelligence and make the right decision at the right time and not be carried away by our environment.
You were listening to Radhanath Swami on devotionalnectar.com.